Hello and welcome to a realistic battle gameplay here in or on Berlin in the M60. Um, I really like the Berlin map, not just here in realistic but also in arcade, and it offers a lot of opportunities. Now, today's topic is a little bit about the wonders of War Thunder to a certain degree. Now, the M60 is a tank that I really, is best described for me personally as average. For the normal player that has just, suffered himself through the American tank lines, especially the medium lines, up until the M60 is something really great, right? It has an amazing gun with APDS, and you just have to research the heat shell, which many people believe is not that necessary. And in many respects, APDS is, better. 300 millimeters or just over 300 millimeters of penetration should be sufficient for most enemies. But, of course, there is this one enemy that often, you don't have the shell to deal with it reliably. And one of them can we see here, an M60. Side shot on the turret, doesn't go through. Why? Well, not sufficient penetration, of course. So, yeah, I also must say the M60 is not the fastest tank here in War Thunder, but at least it comes very close to its top speed limit. And while the top speed limit, just under 50 kilometers an hour, is also nothing spectacular compared to the Leopard actually doesn't ever see its top speed limit, even downhill, at least mine, and which is not fully upgraded. So, I'm choking here for position here with this T10M because I don't want to receive the return shot because I would inevitably die. And so this was the second shot. I take my chances, and finally I get a good damaging hit into him, taking out the gunner, commander, and the turret ring. And so I try the same part again, but the damaging effect of APDS is not good enough. And there I hesitate a little bit, and as you could see, I just reversed in time to avoid his return shot. And again, just bounce at a part that I just penetrated. Or I didn't bounce, but I just simply did not penetrate. And so I know that I can beat his reload, especially with two dead crew members. Then the next shot finally penetrates and kills him by taking out one of the last two crew members. So then I advance, and if you have paid attention to the minimap, you will see that I was always very much the first in line. I was frontline tank. And this is something that, I don't like about teams in general, that they hesitate to advance and often, just let the enemy cap. This T10 was the only tank up here from the enemy team, but also I was pretty much, I was not having too much support. Now there was one tank that distracted the T10M, I have to be fair. And here I'm facing a IS-3 and a ZSU-57-2. And I actually don't know why this ZSU-57-2, sorry about that, did not fire up until now. And now I get the kill assist for it, after I killed the IS-3. And now I think to myself, oh, this is going to be nice, I see the mouse, but it gets taken out at right this moment. And I think to myself, well, if I can hold this position, but it was not to be, right? Because all good things have come to an end. Leopards happened. And that is, a big problem. That American tanks especially are so fragile. Granted, he hit my ammunition, but that it goes off. I think that they go reliably off that easy is a unique thing to American tanks. I feel like to this day I wonder why Gaijin never came around to really address the issue with the ammo racks, because it would be at least a good thing if the ammunition, would be unusable, so you just have no ammunition left. And so I spawned in the F-80, and I just researched the rockets on the F-80, and this thing is fast. And I tried to scout for the Leopard. Now obviously he was further back, but the F-80 is really a nice plane for ground attack missions. And I actually have to thank the Russians for this plane to be really usable. Now you have M3 Brownings. Like on the P-80 you have 6 50 cals, but on the P-80 they are obviously M2 Brownings, but the ammunition is quite the same. And why they are so usable is that the Russians insist of using ZSU-57s. And the ZSU-57 is really a pain in the ass, because it can penetrate every other nation's medium tank from the front. Even the M60 is not safe from it. I'm not even talking about the side with its high explosive filler. And yeah. And also it often refuses to die in the first shot, and it is still able to return fire because it does have 2 gunners. Granted, they are close by, but still you can get killed quite easily. And there is not something else about that ZSU-57, and that seems like that it has gigantic HE shell, like really big HE shells. Now as you can see, I was looking for enemy tanks, but I didn't find any. And so I really donked the approach on this Stuka, did not even hit him, which is a shame because I would have gotten the kill after this maneuver of his. Yeah, so I was actually robbed the kill, because if he wouldn't have suicided, I'm pretty sure I would have killed him. But hey, it happens. If you missed a shot, you missed a chance, right? So, then a final approach, or another approach, so to speak. And then I see this explosion there, or this hit. And finally, I can see something moving. Looked like a Jagdpanzer 4.5 or a Raketenjagdpanzer 2. Raketenjagdpanzer. Please. Raketenjagdpanzer. There we go. German pronunciation. So, yeah, I tried to find him again, but there's so much dust that I can't get quite my rockets on target, and I don't want to waste them. Then I see that there is another hit with nearby the enemy's cap circle. I turn around, I see the hit marker, so something must be there. I know that there's not much left of the enemy team. And I see this thing and think to myself, yeah, that's a Panther 2. So, fire the rockets. And, to a certain degree, again, I have to ask the questions, are rockets to a certain degree overpowered? And then I see that I get shot at. And this is the rate of fire I expect from a ZSU-57. And now I think to myself, oh yes, now I can gun him down. He will never hit me, right? Okay. I did not think that he really hit me. But let's have a look in the replay, shall we? So that's the replay file, and as you can see, that's around about the time that I get shot at. And as you can see, by the tracer color, that they are HE shells. And also when you look at the message, now I get killed. You see the message in the left bottom area. But the 2 HE shells were clearly missing, right? By a few meters. And they are still both there. Yet I am dead. I was killed. And yeah, I'm not quite sure if often, this is This is the opposite of sparking, right? That when you spark, you see that you hit it by the flashes, but you do no damage. Is this the opposite? You miss, but you still kill stuff? And I really have to ask myself, is the netcode bad, or are the speeds, the speed between tanks, shells, and planes too different? Well, doesn't matter. That's it for this battle. Let's have a quick look at the post-battle result screens. As we can see, for 3 kills, 1 assist, I got 38,000 silver lines and 4,100 research points, and I was first in team with 1,793 score points. Please give this video a like if you did, and subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this hit detection, and see you next time on the battlefield.